Okay, today I'll be demonstrating the age-old art of juggling, which has been used for hundreds, maybe even thousands of years to entertain people and just to keep yourself busy learning a new skill. And today I'll be going over three-ball juggling and then a few basic tricks. And in this tutorial, you'll learn how to do basic juggling by following these three simple tricks. First step is to find something that's good to juggle with. Second step is to learn the basic motions and the basic rhythm and the basic patterns of movements of the balls. And the third step is to put that together and finally figure out your rhythm so that you can do other tricks, and that way you can say that you've truly mastered three-ball juggling. Okay, so I've left one yellow, painted one red, and painted one blue just for visual purposes. And I wanted to first talk about finding the correct object. Well, first of all, you don't want to find something too big because then you can't get a good handle on the actual ball itself and you can't catch it. But you also don't want something too small like a golf ball because then when it goes into your hand it might slip out. So I always like going with tennis balls because they're just the perfect size. You can get a good grip on them, and also hacky sacks and baseballs work just as well when you're first learning to juggle. But afterwards you can go to more advanced stuff like bowling pins, tennis rackets, bowling balls. And then second of all, you also don't want something too heavy because when it comes down you want to be able to catch it easily. When you're learning to juggle, it's not going to be that simple. And you also don't want something too light like silks because you need to establish a rhythm and you need to get the feel of the motion of the balls. And if it doesn't have enough weight in it, then you won't feel anything. And you need to make sure that you get used to that rhythm. And then third, you need to make sure that the object is round because when you're learning, you need something that, once again, you can get a good grip on. And tennis rackets, bowling pins, starting off to learn are not going to be good objects because they distribute the weight differently and they'll flip. And you'll freak out trying to catch it. Okay, so first of all, I would like to show you how I learned how to juggle. I learned how to juggle a couple summers ago, just over a weekend, just took a little practice. And really, the thing you have to get through is that your brain will know what to do, but it's making your hands do what your brain knows you need to do. So first, you want to start off keeping a little rectangle. You don't want to go too far, because then you will go out of control. And you also don't want to go too high, because just a little bit too much of an angle will make it go all the way off to the side like that. So just a nice light little toss, a little bit higher than it is wide, like this, will be perfect. So you just do that first, and you always want to have your dominant hand have two balls in it. It's just to be comfortable. Later you can go over like that. But just to start off with, you put two balls in your dominant hand, and then you go over it. And then you're going to get this rhythm down. When this ball's up in the air, the ball in the other hand is going to go under, like so. Like that. So you 1, 2, and then you just keep adding more. 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you just keep going. Keep trying to beat your previous record, and you'll get a rhythm down. And notice how I'm barely throwing to the edge, and that'll give you good control. Because you throw the ball too far over, you lose it. So you want to keep it nice, little, maybe 5-degree angles from perpendicular to the ground. And you want to keep it in a little rectangle in here. And then later, you'll be able to learn more tricks. Okay, so once you have that down, you'll have the basic three-ball juggling down. You'll be able to go on to more advanced stuff. Then you'll be able to do stuff like, people say, oh, look at me, I can juggle two balls. And you just see them, they go like this. No, sorry to say that's not juggling, but you can juggle two balls, and it is quite tricky, and it does take a while to learn. What you do is you can either go from what would be the juggler's perspective clockwise, which seems easier for me. And then counterclockwise. So there's clockwise, and then there's counterclockwise. And then there's one that's even harder than counterclockwise and clockwise, which is the columns. And now you can take this and you can incorporate it into your 3-ball juggling, because you have the basic 3-ball juggling down now. And you just have to make sure that that link goes off in your head to throw the ball, because you know you have to throw it, but you have to make sure that it connects to your arm so that you can keep following through. So now the 2-ball technique that we just learned, you can take it and now toss it into your 3-ball lineup. So now you've not only learned basic juggling, but you've also learned how to make it a little tricky and more visually pleasing for your audience and yourself. And then one more thing to go over for trick juggling is that you can go, instead of going under, notice how every time the ball goes up, this one goes under. Then when this ball's up, this one goes under. Now this one's very tricky and took quite a while to learn, but you can learn it as long as you get it down. You can go over like that. And then what you want to do is it's every third one. So you go over 1, 2, over 1, 2. And you notice how it's the same ball going over. See the yellow one going over every time. Alright, so just to recap, there's 3 things that you need to know about learning how to juggle. You need to make sure that you find something that's light, round, and in the correct shape, and that you'll be able to get a good juggle going with it in a good rhythm. And you also need to go over the basic technique and just challenge yourself. Go 1, 1, 2. Challenge that, practice that. Once you have 3-ball, you can start learning to trick juggle, and you can put all of the techniques that you learned together, and now you've learned how to juggle. And now you can go and entertain all of your friends, and you can feel a sense of accomplishment and also be able to perform better and more confidently in front of audiences. Thank you.